Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And this is pretty interesting. Did you know that if your business decides to wade into the culture wars, you might lose money? It might be a bad idea.
No.
I know, right?
It only took them how many years to figure that out?
It took them how many years and how many millions and millions and millions of dollars. So look, we are living in a very different world. 2024 is off to one hell of a start for a lot of people. We're going to talk about just the massive amount of layoffs that have been announced this week. And we talked about this in a video. They said a lot of companies were waiting until after the holidays, after the new year, to lay people off. And it's companies you would not expect. And it's because the venture capital's run out and because they're looking at the books from the last year or two and they're like, oh man, this is not working.
Yeah, we shouldn't have doubled down on certain things.
Shouldn't have doubled down on certain things. And here we are, but I cannot believe that it took them this long to put this statement out, this article out on Axios, to be like, you know, maybe getting political is not a good idea. Maybe it alienates some of your audience.
This is like 10 years after this whole thing started.
10 years. You're a decade late to the party. Just ask so many other companies. Ask Hasbro and Bud Light and ask
Coke had stepped in it too.
Coke and freaking
Disney,
of course, the biggest one, which they bring up. They bring Disney up as an example of what not to do.
Do you have Hasbro on that list?
I don't know if they have Hasbro on the list, but Hasbro definitely should be on the list. All these companies are bleeding out money because they decided to get political. They decided to wade into the culture wars. They thought that they'd get some fist bumps on Twitter. And yeah, they might have got fist bumps on Twitter, but they took a bump down to their stock.
They waded in, but didn't take the undertow into consideration.
That is a good way of putting it. Yeah, they
Thank you.
waded
I'll be
in.
here all week.
They waded in. They didn't take the undertow into considerations. Now they're sucked out to sea. Let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, you get woohoo if you do.
Woohoo.
Go out to shopclownfish.com. Pick up a copy of Crimson Wren and previously on Clownfish TV. You've got 2 days. These books are in stock. They're printed. They're shipping almost daily. Geeky is packing them up. Lots of fun stuff. We're hoping to bring you more comics this year. So, check these out, get caught up on Clownfish comics. No, we don't make political statements. Actually, our big political statement is we try not to get too political with our entertainment. And that is in itself apparently a political statement.
Apparently, yes.
Because there are companies out there, tabletop companies especially, they're like, hey, yeah, we're not going to get into politics. We just want to sell games. How dare you?
It's your moral obligation.
It's your moral obligation.
To promote our politics. I mean politics.
Where's your black square? Where's your flag? So
But only one. You can't put more than one up because if you have more than one up, black square, you're in trouble.
If you have more than one, yeah, it means something. So this comes from Axios. I had somebody kick this over to me, and this is shocking to have a company like Axios, a digital media company, themselves laying people off, I'm sure, to basically be like, yeah, shut your mouth. And we're going to look at the massive amounts of layoffs that have come out this week. But culture wars represent one of the biggest business risks in 2024.
Been for a while, not just 2024.
You don't say. They had to do a report on this. The corporate culture war represents one of the biggest risks of the year. Eurasia Group President Ian Bremmer writes in a newly released report. Why did you have to release a report?
I mean, yeah, we've all been telling you this for a while now.
What's the saying? What was it, like 4 words in the report? It was go woke, get broke. Is that
I don't know.
is that what it was? Yeah. So this is why it matters. In a particularly fraught election year, businesses and brands are more vulnerable to political attacks. These can directly impact a company's reputation and its ability to do business in certain states.
Oh my God.
And corporate affairs teams are the first line of defense. Basically, keep your mouth shut about political hot button issues if you want to sell your product to everybody. Just sell your Coca-Cola. That's all you got to do.
To me, if I was selling a product, I'd want to make it that, a lot of people could buy it and enjoy the product. Not just people who vote one way or vote another way. I wouldn't be out there saying if you like, red jelly beans, you don't like blue jelly beans, you can't buy this product. You know what I mean? Or if you like, green M&Ms, but you don't like, red M&Ms. How dare you? This is stupid. You know, it's just like, I want to make a product that you all can enjoy. So that's a uniting product and not a divisive product, you know?
Well, the green M&M was divisive because she's not a dirty little slut anymore.
But that is her agency, and she's allowed to be a dirty little slut if she wants to be a dirty little slut.
Let her just be a slut cakes. So here we go. There's the new toy line, strawberry slut cake. She's very delicious.
So new meaning to word slice.
Oh,
anyway.
my God. Be smart. So this is funny because in 2019, they said the Business Roundtable, a collective of 200 CEOs from America's top companies, declared that corporations should do more than just make a profit. They should also support the well-being of customers, employees, suppliers, and communities.
But how do you, who decides?
They did.
What the well-being is for people. You know what I mean?
Whoever's giving them money decides.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, you know, if you're like, you know, corporation A and you come into my community and you're going to dictate to me what's good for me and my community, and you have no effing clue other than the fact that you're just trying to push an agenda, I'm not going to like it.
So they said since then, there have been a global pandemic, racial reckoning, the overturning of Roe v. Wade, and ongoing wars across the globe. They've put this commitment to the test. So they're saying, yeah, it was okay. But I love this. Yes, but the past year has also shown how courts, elected officials, and activists can punch back against corporate initiatives they disagree with.
That was like Disney and DeSantis, yeah.
They bring up Disney and DeSantis. And look, Disney's not doing well now. Partially, it could be because of politics. I think a bigger part is because of the politics, their product is trash and they've been mocked all over. Even South Park is mocking them.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, because of this commitment to, the well-being and diversity and inclusion and the blah, 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 they're making subpar preachy products that nobody wants.
Never go full Cartman.
Never go full Cartman.
Even in drag. Don't go full Cartman.
7 attorney generals from red states ordered Target to remove specific Pride merchandise. Was that the tuck swimsuit or whatever? Or the kid stuff or whatever? They say claiming it. Oh, that was kid stuff. Yeah, claiming it was probably both. It was probably like kids tuck and go underwear or something. Claimed it violated their state's child protection laws. In California, Governor Gavin Newsom attempted to ban Walgreens. He was going to ban. I didn't even hear about this. He was going to ban Walgreens for not selling abortion pills.
Well, to be fair, a lot of companies are leaving California. So if you just wait a couple months and they get robbed a few more times, they'll probably just leave on their own.
So, yeah, right. So let me get this straight. So he was going to ban Walgreens because they wouldn't sell something that they weren't comfortable selling. They're private business. They can do what they want.
If only there were other drugstores.
If only there were other drugstores, right? But I'm like, I thought it was, like Disney. They're a private business. They can do whatever they want. The government has no right to tell them what they can and can't do.
If Walgreens got banned from California, it would have been a win. I mean, for the Walgreens.
Because they're getting robbed. Like, they got to keep everything. Maybe that was their excuse. Maybe they just didn't want to have to keep those pills under lock and key because people will be stealing them. But you have to have a gender neutral toy aisle.
I know, but yeah, right.
Stay at play. Following these political pressures, companies have started to slow walk or reframe their environmental, social, and governance strategies, ESG. Let's talk about this. I can tell you what's going on. It's not because they're doing it willingly, because, they've been losing money. It's because they were bankrolled by venture capitalists for a long time who would give them money based on ESG. And now they've run out of money.
Venture capital. I think they were getting like other kinds of grants and stuff. Yeah, for the ESG stuff.
Yes,
yeah.
And I know that was the thing, because you look even at like Pennsylvania businesses and you look at getting grants and they ask you, what's the makeup of your employees, who are your target audience, whatever, and we'll give you grant money or we'll give you money based on who you hire. That they were chasing that. Did they ever, as a company, actually believe this shit? No, I don't think they ever did.
Well, then they're saying that what these companies are doing is they're recommending that you can do internal messages, which people are just going to share, by the way.
Yeah.
But not to make loud public statements, because they're trying to, most companies operate in both, red and blue states. And even if you're in a red state or a blue state, the state has people who vote, different ways, right?
Yes. Pennsylvania is weird.
Maybe it would be a wise decision to try to stay out of politics and, instead promote your product and make good products and, try to promote to everybody in a non-political way so that you can, sell products. I know it's hard to believe. Because how can you possibly buy a product ever if you don't know how the CEO votes? But once upon a time, most of the time you went and voted and nobody asked you voted for it. You didn't have to tell anyone. And it wasn't like it was that you had to, do this as a gatekeeping method. You could just say, I voted. You didn't have to say who, and everybody was fine with it.
The true story. I think I've said this before, but we have a lot of new people on the channel. One company I used to work for a software company, and we dealt mostly with government, Army contracts. That was what we did. My boss was actually a former senator, and he was a Democratic senator. You would think that like the makeup of it would be like mostly Democrats, but no, actually it was pretty much a 50-50 split. And he himself said, I will give you off to go vote on election day. I don't want to know who you voted for. I don't care.
But it's important to vote.
It's important to vote because he was a senator. He said it's important to vote. I don't care. I don't care who you vote for. He was a Democrat. He was in charge. His son was also one of the bigwigs there, and he was an aspiring Democratic senator. He never made the cut, though. That's a whole nother thing. But most of the management were actually Republicans, and everybody got along. Believe it or not, everybody.
Well, back in the day, you could. It's stupid. Like half time you didn't know who anybody else, which way they went. It wasn't that important. Like you didn't care. Like how many people I work with voted this way, but you just didn't even think about it. It was like whatever.
Yeah. So they're telling people to basically shut your mouth. Now, we're going to talk about the layoffs because I just put in layoffs today, and we talked about Pixar in a whole separate video. Citigroup, Google, Amazon.
Oh, you mean after Christmas and the New Year, like you said was going to happen?
NBC, Twitch. Yeah, we did a whole video about Twitch. Yeah, they're like, no, it's fine. The great layoffs aren't happening again. No.
They are.
I think they are. Lots of TV stations, news outlets, NBC laying a bunch of people off. Discord, 17% of employees, they're getting gone. Google's laying off a whole bunch of people, and Google's actually making money. A bunch of video game companies are laying off. Let's see, what's this one? This is Discord, Google, Audible, and others off to a bad start for the year.
We told you mostly Neon, at the beginning of the New Year's, the beginning of the quarter.
Yeah. For
most companies. And sometime in the first or second quarter, you're going to see a bunch of layoffs hit. And that's what we're seeing.
What?
It's almost like, we've been around for a while. We've done this before.
So this is one of the advantages of being older. Right. I've been there, done that. And I can see the signs. And I also looked at this because I used to look at the numbers all the time. The various jobs I had, because I was management and probably 75% of the positions I was in. Right. So I had access to the books. And you can tell, hey, where's the money coming from? When you have to ask a question like, so where's the money coming from? Where's the money coming from? I know what it costs to run this operation every month. Where's the money? When you have to ask that, and there's so many of these companies I'd look at and be like, how can they afford to pay a bunch of people 6-figure salaries and they don't do anything? They don't do anything. Well, now we got our answer. It was probably coming from venture capital and ESG and DEI stuff, and it's gone. The Onion, this is, they're part of GeoMedia. GeoMedia cut loose Jezebel. They were going to shut it down, and then because they couldn't find a buyer, and then they apparently sold it dirt cheap to another magazine. But their contract is coming due. The writers union contract is coming due at the end of the month. And, now they're going to go on strike. I thought this was an Onion headline. Onion writers go on strike during massive economic downturn. News at 11. No.
I know, right?
They could shut you down. They could shut you. What the hell are you thinking? Right now, again, now is not a good time to ask daddy for a pony.
Well, it's because the unionized writers' contract is going to expire at the end of the month. But, I'm sorry. I don't think you're going to get more. I really don't.
So here's what they're saying. They're saying employees of GeoMedia deserve salaries that keep pace with the rising cost of living, and we require assurance that AI-generated content will not jeopardize our employment now or in the future. We're dedicated stewards of some of the internet's most beloved legacy brands. That's legacy brands. We take that work seriously. It's time for GeoMedia to invest in its people. No, they'll sell you off. Your websites, The Onion might be one of the only ones that's actually worth something.
I was say it's the only one that is, but yeah.
But this is the same GeoMedia that owns Kotaku, and Kotaku was flailing around. I'm telling you, they will cut you loose. They'll just take the L and be like, you know what? We're out of the digital media business because we can't afford to pay people there's no money and we can't dip into venture capital anymore to bankroll this shit for another 5 years.
Well, there isn't anything to dip into, but beyond that, the funding, like the ad rates and things are really low on
They're
blogs.
horrible.
They're bad. Like they're a quarter of what they were. And I'm like, anybody working there would know that. Even if you brought a lot of views in, you're still down to probably like at least, a third to 2/3 from your revenue at least.
Yeah, and they went on strike 2 years ago and they got a reprieve. It was, well, okay.
But there was money two years ago or whatever.
There was more money than there is now. Actually, the ad rates 2020 to 2022 were pretty good. They were, because everybody's locked in their houses. So, they're reading more websites, they're watching more videos. The ad rates were pretty good. Plus, this is before Silicon Valley Bank imploded, and there was essentially a bank run on venture capital. Everybody realized they're not getting their money back. And, when they dole out this money, they usually have a plan. They usually have a 5 or 8 or 10 year plan. That's why you see like multiple rounds of venture capital being doled out. And now a lot of the bills are coming due and they're like, yeah, we can't give you any more because you didn't make back what we gave you, but they had Gizmodo, Lifehacker, Kotaku, Jezebel. They got a 2-year contract. They sold Jezebel. Mm-hmm. I think they're going to sell Kotaku or shut it down. I have no doubt, because you look at their YouTube videos, they're getting less than 1,000 views on YouTube videos. They claim they're getting 11 million views a month on their website, but nobody I know is actually reading Kotaku other than to mock it. And it's probably legacy content. It's probably walkthroughs and stuff like that from God knows when. And AI is giving people what they need. Hey, how do I beat this level in this game? They'll give you a 1-paragraph summary and say, here's how you do it. You don't have to go to Kotaku. So I don't expect them to, they could, good luck with that, but they're all trying to basically save their asses at this point. But yeah, this is not helping. The culture war shit is not helping.
Some of those sites are very ingrained and
just culture war
right
sites.
In there.
And people are tired of it. I think we're going to have a really, I think we're going to have a very toxic year. Let's put it that way. Like it is, I tweeted this morning, I'm like, I don't know if it's a good time to be on social media in 2024 because it's going to get worse and worse and worse the closer to November we get. And people are going to get nastier. And what's going to happen though, because all this stuff is imploding, a lot of these people that were into the culture war stuff are activists, and now they're unemployed activists, and they're going to spend all of their time on the internet causing trouble. And a lot of them, I'm going to be honest, have mental health issues to begin with, as we've seen, and they're going to spend all their time cause as much trouble as they can because they're angry, they're lashing out.
I can't wait till they try to find a way to make everybody have to mail in their votes again, and then a lot of votes will suddenly register and appear that there are more votes than there are registered voters.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait for that to happen again.
Yeah. But yeah, it's gonna be a really interesting year. I just think it's funny to have a publication like Axios come out and tell businesses to shut their mouths.
If you want to make money.
If you want to make money, shut up.
Just, try to find the common denominator and focus on that.
Silence, brand. That's what they're telling you. Shut up and make money. We're going to wrap this up.
Yes.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, and we'll talk later.
Bye.